Censor Studio here, always pushing boundaries. Today, July 20th, is the House of Councilors election in Japan. The outcome of this election is expected to significantly shape Japan's future policies. The problem is that it is predicted that the Liberal Democratic Party and Prime Minister Ishiba will suffer a crushing defeat in the House of Councilors election, and major turmoil is expected. Today, let's take a closer look at this issue. Let's get right into it. Recently, Prime Minister Ishiba has gone through a period of great upheaval in many ways. Prime Minister Ishiba was criticized for being disrespectful to the United States after giving everything to them. In response, he started making harsh remarks toward the United States. Despite 7 rounds of tariff talks, President Trump got a letter indicating that the outcome would remain a 25% tariff, same as South Korea. Along with this, as public resentment toward Prime Minister Ishiba grew, his approval rating dropped to 20.8%, the lowest since the Ishiba cabinet was formed. It's a very serious situation. In June, when Koizumi Shinjiro, known for fun, cool saikja, became agriculture minister, approval rose to 27% but has since fallen to 20.8%. Prime Minister Ishiba's favorability is declining. According to a recent Asahi Shimbun poll, Prime Minister Ishiba's favorability rating is 83, the second lowest after former Prime Minister Asudaru in 2009. This demonstrates the widespread disapproval of Prime Minister Ishiba, with even some Liberal Democratic Party lawmakers publicly refusing to back his campaign and denouncing his policies. For example, Senator Aoyama Shigeharu did not join Prime Minister Ishiba's campaign event in Osaka on July 16. Instead, he held his own campaign event at a separate location. Senator Aoyama Shigeharu even openly said that he didn't want to campaign together with Prime Minister Ishiba. He openly criticized Prime Minister Ishiba, saying the administration's policies of only raising taxes without cuts won't attract voters. This phenomenon isn't just happening in certain places, but all over, so it seems that Prime Minister Ishiba is facing a significant crisis. The Japanese House of Councilors, the upper house, has 248 seats total. Half of the members serving 6-year terms are elected every 3 years. This election will fill 125 seats, including 1 Tokyo district vacancy, 75 from local districts, and 50 from proportional representation. The Liberal Democratic Party and Komeito aim to win over 50 of the 125 seats to maintain their majority with their existing seats. Achieving this goal would signify that they have earned the voters' trust. If the Liberal Democratic Party really achieves this goal, it is highly likely that Prime Minister Ishiba will take the lead nationwide. If the ruling coalition doesn't secure a majority in the House of Representatives, they could dissolve the chamber and call for a general election. As I mentioned earlier, Prime Minister Ishiba's approval rating is an extremely low 28%. It appears challenging for the Liberal Democratic Party to reach this objective. Public sentiment is unstable due to high prices, and the Liberal Democratic Party and Prime Minister Ishiba were called rude in United States tariff talks. Voters don't really trust them. Opposition parties are promising consumption tax cuts, gaining increased public support. A Yomiuri Shimbun poll from July 16 suggests the Liberal Democratic Party may win fewer than 36 seats, the lowest since 1989. It is predicted that the Liberal Democratic Party alone, or even combined with their coalition partner, the Komeito Party, will struggle to secure a majority. The Asahi Shimbun presented a similar analysis. The Liberal Democratic Party is expected to win 27 to 39 seats, while the Komeito Party is expected to secure 6 to 12 seats. Even combined, that's a minimum of 33 seats and a maximum of 51 seats, which means they would barely and miraculously surpass the majority threshold of 50 seats. The problem isn't merely a matter of numbers. This result doesn't just mean losing the election, it's highly likely to be interpreted as a political judgment against Prime Minister Ishiba. This election serves as a midterm evaluation of the Ishiba administration rather than just a regular election. If the Liberal Democratic Party and Komeito Party don't secure a majority, the opposition will hold the majority in both the House of Representatives and the House of Councilors. In this scenario, the Ishiba administration would face the worst political deadlock, virtually paralyzing all government operations. The main concern is Prime Minister Ishiba's political future. Prime Minister Ishiba suffered defeats in both the House of Representatives election last October and the Tokyo Metropolitan Assembly election in June. And if he suffers a 3rd consecutive defeat in the current House of Councilors election, there will be strong doubts about his leadership within the ruling party. Historically, prime ministers have struggled to stay in office under similar circumstances. In 1998, former Prime Minister Ryutaro Hashimoto announced his plan to resign the following day after losing the House of Councilors election. In 2007, former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe held on for 2 months after a crushing defeat before stepping down. Prime Minister Ishiba will face calls for accountability. The issue persists. Power struggles within the Liberal Democratic Party will intensify as potential successors for the next prime minister step forward in earnest. Names like Sanai Takaichi, a hardline conservative, Shinjiro Koizumi, known in Korea for his punk hole hair color, and Yoshimasa Hayashi, who has extensive administrative experience, are already being mentioned. However, even if the Liberal Democratic Party elects a new president, if the opposition party with a majority of seats supports a particular candidate, the Liberal Democratic Party will have no choice but to give up the prime minister's position. This means that it could lead to the possibility of a change in government. If the Liberal Democratic Party, Komeito Party, and the ruling coalition fail to secure a majority in this House of Councilors election, it could lead to the collapse of the administration and a major transformation in Japanese politics, not just a simple defeat for the ruling party. Prime Minister Ishiba risks not only losing his position as premier, but also his leadership role within the Liberal Democratic Party. In summary, this House of Councilors election is a crucial event that could determine the survival of the Ishiba administration and reshape Japanese politics, beyond just being a battle for seats. Despite Prime Minister Ishiba's guaranteed term, he is expected to face intense pressure from within the Liberal Democratic Party to resign due to the election defeat. Even if the Liberal Democratic Party elects a new leader, they may not become Prime Minister. However, the Prime Minister will likely still come from the Liberal Democratic Party. If the opposition wins the House of Councilors election, they would control both houses of parliament. If the majority opposition unites behind a candidate, the Liberal Democratic Party would have to relinquish the Prime Minister's position. The Prime Minister is nominated by the House of Representatives, not the House of Councilors. With the situation deteriorating so rapidly, Prime Minister Ishiba is left with only one optimal scenario. The aim is to create a new coalition government by including opposition parties like the National Democratic Party or the Constitutional Democratic Party within the existing coalition, thus securing a majority in both the House of Representatives and the House of Councilors. This strategic move, although resulting in an election loss, could potentially bolster his administration through political negotiations and realignment. In particular, Prime Minister Ishiba is known to have a strong personal relationship of trust with Yoshiko Noda, the leader of the Constitutional Democratic Party, so the possibility of forming a coalition government is not out of the question. However, implementing this strategy is extremely difficult. Japan's opposition parties are highly fragmented in terms of ideology, regional base, and political stance. The Constitutional Democratic Party is strongly progressive, the Democratic Party for the People is centrist, and Nippon Ishin is hardline conservative. For these parties to join a coalition with the Liberal Democratic Party, they would have to make choices that could shake their identity and base, potentially amounting to political suicide. Prime Minister Ishiba is facing criticism for being responsible for 3 consecutive defeats: the last House of Representatives election, the Tokyo Metropolitan Assembly election, and the most recent election. In Japanese politics, it's rare for a prime minister who lost an election to stay in power. Criticism over their lack of legitimacy will likely grow among the public, media, and even within their own party. In that sense, this strategy is, on one hand, a choice that is close to a political miracle, and on the other hand, it is also the only way to extend his political life. Prime Minister Ishiba urgently seeks to regain practical power by securing a parliamentary majority, even at the cost of immediate political burdens. In short, this House of Councilors election is not just a legislative election, but is likely to become the starting point of an all-encompassing change involving Prime Minister Ishiba's political life, the power structure of the Liberal Democratic Party, and even a systemic transformation of Japanese politics. In particular, the surge of the Chamjung Party is something to watch closely. In this House of Councilors election, the issue of foreigner regulations has rapidly emerged as a major topic. This is due to the rapid increase in foreigners visiting or residing in Japan, which has led to various social issues. Despite politicians' efforts to counter it, the Chamjung Party's popularity continues to rise. The Chamjung Party is gaining attention by prioritizing Japanese citizens and advocating for policies that exclude foreigners. They made a splash by winning 3 seats in last June's Tokyo Metropolitan Assembly election. The Mainichi newspaper even predicted that their current single seat could increase to at least 8 and up to 17 seats. Some predict this might be the first instance of a far-right party in Japan successfully legislating and entering mainstream politics. The problem is that this Sansei party has far-right tendencies and is a party that is very negative toward Korea. The Sansei party has stated that people are treated like fools, similarly to Koreans. The policies they are putting forward are all extreme or based on conspiracy theories, so it definitely seems like Japan's political world will be greatly shaken. Anyway, it seems clear that Prime Minister Ishiba will lose in this election. As a result, Prime Minister Ishiba is expected to step down. I'm curious about your opinions on how Japanese politics will unfold going forward. Please leave your thoughts in the comments as well. That's all for this video. Thank you.